Uh, what we have is Defense Attorney Charles Bunk. He has a request for a hearing regarding a violation report that the court that was forwarded to the court, and the court responded to it. Mr. Bunk, it's yours.
Judge, the violation alleges that on the 21st day of February, at approximately 3:25 in the afternoon, there was a violation of the interlock ignition device installed in my client's car. She's had it in her car now for a year. There was a .046 test at 3:25:04, and then a retest at 3:27:18. So about 2 minutes later, and the retest is a pass. It's a 0.00. As I understand it, the violation report was filed because, and I don't know if the court has the violation in front of her, but she's kind of leaning over to the side, kind of like I am now, and you can't see all of her. You can see her hair and her shoulder in both pictures, and so they filed it because they can't see her face as the person that passed the second test. And that is the violation on this thing. I'm not asking, obviously, to remove the interlock device, just the anti-abuse requirement. We are set for she's a full-time student. We're set for a plea in your court on June the 1st, where she's going to plead and receive 30 days in jail for this case. So I'm just trying to keep her off the anti-abuse and let her stay on the interlock device for the next, I guess it's 2.5 months until she comes before this honorable court to enter her plea.
State.
I think Mr. Bunk is mistaken because the second violation report filed with the court on September 8th, 2020 seems to show the following: failure to enroll in the ignition interlock upon completion of inpatient treatment.
I don't understand. You're saying you think she doesn't have it, or are you saying?
I'm saying the second violation report alleges non-enrollment on or about September 8th of 2020. And for Ms. Hernandez in cause number 636217, as far as I am aware, there have not been any other violation reports filed with the court in the intervening time.
Mr. Bunk, you want to go into what am I looking for here?
I didn't really understand. I didn't say anything about a second. I'm just arguing. I was just discussing this current violation report. So he said he thinks I was mistaken. I'm not sure what I was mistaken about. But the violation report before the court that you place anti-abuse on as a result of is this violation that I discussed. I don't know if Mr. Edelman is implying that she in fact does not have the interlock. I mean, she's had it since I believe she got it right after she did inpatient. And once she got out of inpatient, she got it as soon as she got her money together and got it all organized. But she's had it now since then.
Which was when?
I guess the first week in September. She got out of the treatment center on August the 30th.
Right. What is the date she re-enrolled?
I don't know the date of that, but I can tell the court if, hold on, let me see here. I don't know off the top of my head, but I can tell the court, obviously it has, Andrew's been nice enough to put up this second violation report that is dated, I don't know when it's dated, but roughly August the 30th-ish.
Dated September 8th of 2020.
Well, she got it on right then, or there would have been a third report immediately thereafter, and there wasn't. I don't know the exact date. She did 90 days inpatient. She got out of the inpatient. She obviously she got her money together. She got everything organized, and she got the thing on. She's had it on since then. And if this is titled second violation report in September, and the third violation report is March, she's had, 6 months on it without any issues. And so I'm just asking, she's not trying to remove the device. Obviously we got to stay on the device as a condition of the bond, and because the code requires it, but I'm just asking you not to order her to take the antabuse. And then, like I said, we are set June the 1st for our plea.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Yes, of course.
As far as I'm aware, there is not a third violation report. As far as I'm aware, there are no violation reports subsequent to this second violation report.
Andrew, I don't want to mislead anybody. It's dated March the 15th of 2021. And I have it here.
And that's why I say, as far as I'm aware.
Mr. Bunk, you're saying there is a third report?
Well, it's the one that brought us, it's the one you ruled on Monday. At the beginning of the hearing, Patty read to you that you had ordered continue on device and add antabuse, that you signed that on Monday. That was the violation report that arises from the allegation on February the 21st. So yes, the second violation report was she didn't get it on fast enough when she got out of outpatient. And then 6 months later, we have this report for this one test that was a fail, and then 2 minutes later was a pass.
Patricia,
Yes, Judge.
I'm
would
sorry.
you contact Ms. Luna and establish?
Ms. Luna?
Yes, and establish for the court.
She's not
wait
on
a minute, no,
probation, Judge.
That's right, I'm sorry, pretrial. Get a hold of pretrial, find out when, what the record shows on when she reinstalled the ignition interlock.
Judge, I think it'll be faster if I call Martha and have her scan it to me so I can show it to you.
Well, whichever
Your
way
Honor.
is quicker. Yes, sir.
Apologize for interrupting. I think I can cut through this problem.
I'm listening.
What Mr. Bunk is referring to is this,
Correct.
which is not available through File 360. I needed to find a copy of it that was sent to me by Caitlin Cerda, which did not have the cause number or the name of the defendant. But this is the third violation report that Mr. Bunk is referring to that you ruled on.
All right.
It is not notated in JD, but your orders to continue with ignition interlock and to add antabuse are notated.
All right. So now we're all on the same page as to which violation we're talking about, or at least I think that we are. So March the 12th of 21, she registers a high brack.
Well, I think the high brack was actually, if you keep scrolling down, the high brack was actually February 21st.
Okay.
That's correct.
I think March the 12th is just when they do the monthly.
That's when the report. That's when the report was made.
Yes, sir.
So the high brack is registered here, February 21st.
It's at the very bottom, Andrew, of that page. It's in red right there. And Andrew, thank you for putting that up. That helps kind of show the judge what I was talking about.
You're welcome.
Six minutes later, she takes the test and does not follow the rules that she's been made aware of by being clearly in front of the camera. And that's where the problem is.
The problem is you cannot see all of her face. Yes.
Exactly. I can't see any of her face.
Correct. But I will point out that you can see it's the same person that blew. It'd be different if the fail was somebody in a hoodie and then somebody with a bare shoulder was taking the pass. It's the same person blowing both times. I don't think that she was intentionally trying to.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Bunk.
Yes, sir.
On the photo, hold on, go back a little bit. Who's controlling it?
I am, sir.
Okay.
I'm sharing my screen, sir.
All right. On the 9:58:30.
Yes, sir.
That's when it was supposedly cleared.
That was the test earlier that morning. Yes, sir.
All right. I don't see any bare shoulders on her there, but let's see the next photo where she's in.
Well, the next photo is at 3:30 in the afternoon, so it's 5 or 6 hours later.
All right. I don't see any bare. Is that a bare shoulder?
Well,
I can't tell, Your Honor.
I thought it was, but it at least appears to me that it's this. If it's whatever clothing or lack of clothing it is, it appears to be the same person. I
see your point. At 3:25:04, someone blows a 0.046. There appears to be a shoulder and a white garment below her arm level or shoulder level. Then 3:27:18, it appears that the same individual blew a second one. You got the same a piece of white garment that I see there. Initial test pass 6 minutes later, which would, if it's the same person, it is not consistent with alcohol.
Pardon me, Your Honor, but I don't believe that's 6 minutes. I believe it's only 2. 3:25.
You are correct.
3:27.
Even more indicative of non-alcohol. All right. Mr. Bunk?
Yes, sir.
Put your client under oath and have her swear that she was not drinking that day.
I'm gonna switch so she can sit in my chair and you can see her, Judge.
All right.
I can't see y'all because of the screen share, but I'm gonna sit her down.
Your Honor, may I stop staring the screen?
Yes, sir.
I totally forgot.
Charles Bunk has undergone a miraculous change.
Yes, I grew hair.
Ms. Hernandez, would you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, any responses you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Put your hand down. Ms. Hernandez, first of all, let me remind you that in this proceeding, this is a criminal proceeding. You always have a right to remain silent unless you give up that right. That means you don't have to say anything or answer any questions. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you willing to give up that right at this time for this particular proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Bunk, your witness.
Ms. Hernandez, you are aware that we're before the court today regarding a violation report that was filed the 12th day of March, correct? Or the 15th day of March, excuse me.
Yes.
And the subject of that violation report is a positive test that, or not a positive test, but a alcohol related indication on February the 21st at approximately 3:25 in the afternoon, correct?
Yes.
And there's a photograph of an individual, but you can't see the entire face of that individual. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Are you telling this court you are that individual in that photograph?
Yes.
And then 2 minutes later, what appears to be the same person blows in the machine again, and the machine shows a 0.000 reading. The person that's in that photograph, is that you as well?
Yes.
Have you or had you been drinking on that day?
No, sir.
Natalie, more, I guess, just for some historical reference, when did you get out of inpatient treatment?
Around August 30th.
And have you been sober for almost since that day?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Judge, that's all I have. I've known Natalie a long time, and that was a big step for her. So I wanted the court to hear that, she's coming up on 9 months of sobriety, which is a big deal. So we're happy.
All right. Do you have any children, ma'am?
Yes, I have one. I have a
How
little
old is
boy. He's
How old is-
about to be 8. Yes, in April.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me share this with you, Ms. Hernandez. I repeat this quite a few times to people. My first priority as a judge is my oath of office to follow the law and the Constitution and laws of our nation and state. My second priority is to protect our community. And someone that allegedly has had 2 DWIs, you have to think carefully about that being a dangerous person.
Mhm.
Then the third thing is to try and protect the defendant himself or herself. At this point, you need to be very mindful of the rules that you have. You're not supposed to blow off camera. You got to be clearly in front of the camera. And because of that, you did a violation because you weren't clearly there. I can't be certain that you were the person that blew high, nor can I be certain that you're the person that blew zeros. I'm going to recall or withdraw the order for antabuse. What are the conditions right now, Patty? Do you know? Or Mr. Edelman? I know she's being monitored.
I do not have access to that information.
Judge, I think my client can answer that question as far as what she does on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I report monthly to my probation officer.
She's still on felony probation, Judge. So she is monitored by the felony probation department as well as this device through pretrial services.
What kind of felony probation are we talking about?
She's on deferred, I believe, for less than a gram. The court in the 175th District Court had a hearing on this. This DWI that's before the court today was the subject of that MTR. The court, after discussing it and learning that she was going to go to the inpatient treatment, once she got out of the inpatient treatment, they withdrew the MTR and they allowed her to continue on deferred adjudication for the felony, understanding that we still had to resolve this case.
All right. All right, then are you doing any kind of weekly testing?
No, but I do blow it because of COVID. I haven't been able to go into the office, but I think that I believe my PO told me that will change this month. But I mean, I do blow in my device every day, and I have been since I got out of my inpatient.
All right. Then I will withdraw the requirement of adding antabuse. I want you to provide a drug test every 2 weeks for the next 60 days, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
I just want to be certain that I'm not giving you too much freedom and you're messing up. I don't want you to mess up, and I'm hopeful that you don't want to mess up either.
No, my life is completely different now that I'm sober, and I wouldn't change that.
Let me say this to you for what it's worth. The worst thing that could happen to you is for you to be drinking and driving and you have an accident and you kill your own son. What's his name?
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Israel?
All right. Now, I think you see it all the time on TV and in newspaper where that kind of thing happens. And if you have a drinking problem, that can cause it. The second worst thing could happen to you is to have an accident and you kill an innocent person, because then you'd be going to prison either way. Now, the other thing is this: the kind of life your little son is going to have depends upon the love and caring you give him. And a big part of that is your own good example or your bad example. Now you think about that. What do you want for your own son? And I hope you give that some thought and act accordingly, all right?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Then that'll be the order at this point. Patricia, make sure that Linda is made aware that we're going to withdraw that requirement of interviews. Be aware, we're going to be watching real close. You step out of line, you will rue the day, okay? Meaning you will be unhappy about the results. Shows it, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Mr. Bunk, well done. I do have to remind you that the hearings on video conference are considered the same as being in the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't appear in my courtroom or any other judge's courtroom without a coat and tie. And I don't mean to be a stickler, but the Office of Court Administration, you don't need to, but the Office of Court Administration made it a point to tell us to remind folks that you have to have the solemnity and give the importance as on video conference as if you were in the courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
We had one incident where one attorney who's been ill